Hi, guys! Welcome back to Guided by the Universe. I'm your host, Diana, and yes, you're seeing it right. This is a video podcast again. Welcome back to this beautiful format that is so much more work for me, but so much more worth it for you. So, I have decided that it is a lot more fun and interactive if you actually see the person talk and if you actually feel like you talk to me face to face. Because if you remember, in the last episode, I was like, I don't act any differently when I talk on my podcast as if I would be sitting in front of you and talking to you. And after I said that, I sat with that idea and I was like, I should buy a camera and set up a home studio and start doing my video podcasting again. Because if you remember, if you've been around here long enough, you have seen the failed attempt to launch a video podcast, but it looked crappy as shit. And I hope that you don't go back to watch those episodes because the quality was very much homemade. It was with my iPhone, and I didn't use a lot of light. I was just like, let's just make it kind of dark-ish, and I expected good quality of that. I looked pink and red because I was like, that's the color of my podcast. That's the color of You Get the Gist, if you still remember that. At the time it was called You Get the Gist. And funny enough, you don't see it, but right above me the You Get the Gist neon sign is on. But I was like, yeah, let's just keep it guided by the universe for now. All right, so um, just to come back to what I was saying, the failed attempt to launch a video podcast taught me a lot, and it definitely taught me the most important thing, and that is I need a fucking camera. And I hesitated getting a camera because I don't know shit about videography. I just know how to cut videos with CapCut for social media. But I have people around me that I can ask for help. So shout out to you, Michael, for kind of walking me through the pros and cons of the camera that I got and tell me about other cameras that were also good to use, but I ended up picking up this camera. So thank you for all of your help, plus the help to set up the studio and tell me how the fuck to put the lights and all of those small things that I just didn't know the first time when I tried to do a video podcast. So I'm glad that this time it will probably look a lot better than it did the last time, and I hope that you have at least as much fun watching it as I had setting this up and, making it come alive. Because right next to me, there is my vision board that I've been talking to you about a lot of times, and you don't see all of it. You just see like the bottom half of the right side. But on the left side, there are pictures on the pinboard, and some of them look like a home studio. I mean, it looks nothing like the one that I have now, but we have to get started somewhere. But it is a home studio. And so I kind of forgot that I had it on my vision board, but I always love to tell you my vision board is wicked. And so on this beautiful day, it came alive. It came alive. So let's just get to the topic of today's episode. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about living your best life, about embracing the present moment, and about making the most out of every single day. All right, so my boyfriend taught me one thing, and that is if you want to live your best life, if you want to feel that inner fulfillment, if you want to feel happy on your day to day life, you have to start living as if you are already living your best life. Because we're planning to go to Thailand and to Bali next year because I want to see the life abroad. I've never been to Asia. And you know how we all see the paradise islands of Thailand, how we see those yogis doing ceremonies and yoga practices in Bali on like the rice fields in the background and all of that. And I used to tell him, the moment when we're gonna get there and we're gonna start making content there, everything's gonna be so much better. We're going to feel more spiritually connected and so on and so forth. And he called that a bunch of bullshit because it is. And now I see why it is. So listen, if you don't feel happy now. If you don't feel fulfilled now, you will not feel fulfilled when you walk down the beaches in Thailand. You fucking won't. Because, funny enough, we actually have an acquaintance that is in Thailand now, and he said something between the lines that he wants to fly over there. He's also from Germany, that he wants to fly over there and eat healthy and start Muay Thai. And so my boyfriend was like, bro, you could do those things at home as well. You don't have to go all the way there to start eating healthily and doing Muay Thai. Like, what kind of logic is that? You can do those things in Germany as well. But bro did not listen, doesn't truly believe, and frankly kind of had the mindset that I had prior as well. And it's refreshing to see that I don't have to do that step to learn that lesson firsthand, that I can learn that lesson second-handedly, and maybe now you can learn it third-handedly from bro, because I'm not going to say bro's name. And I'm just so excited to actually put into practice this sort of living your best life that you see in the distant future, that you live it, that you bring it closer and closer and closer to the present moment. So, for example, I wanted to have this format, but I didn't think that it would be possible for me because I can't afford a camera. I don't know anything about videography because I just been using my phone like most of us have, and I just been content creating, which is not the same thing as videographing, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And third of all, I was like, yeah, I don't have the following right now. I don't have the reach right now so that I can pull off this stunt. But after last week, as I told you, after I was like, I don't act any differently in front of the camera or behind the camera in person. Bet. Let's fucking try. Let's give it a try. Let's do it and let's see how it turns out. And so, the next day, I started looking up cameras and I was like, okay, so which camera would be the best for vlogging? I want to start YouTube because YouTube is badass. YouTube is like the elite of content creating. And I feel like, I don't know how to put it, but like just the pros do it. And like the small content creators stay on TikTok and on Instagram with their iPhone videos. Like, I'm not trying to belittle anybody because I would be belittling myself as well. What I'm trying to say is that I wanted to try a different format. I wanted to try enriching my toolkit, my skill kit. I wanted to get better in what I do because I ultimately want to earn money with this. Like most of us content creators do. And I wanted something new. You know how I love adventure. Even here it says adventurous lifestyle, right, on my vision board. And I just wanted to learn the skill of videography, so this is the first attempt of me trying to do so. Anyway, living in the present moment and making the present moment your ideal life is what is going to attract your ideal circumstances, situations, relationships, business encounters, and whatever you're trying to manifest for yourself. That is what is going to bring this distant reality closer to what it is today. Because if you are internally unfulfilled, you are not going to be fulfilled the moment when it happens. So, for example, let's say that you want to get this new job position and you want to buy a specific item that is a bit more expensive. If you feel like, first of all, you're not worth the position or the item, you are not in the position to get those things because it's just not for people like you. It's for somebody else, but not for me. You know what I mean? If you don't see your worth having those things and being abundantly blessed by birth and it being your birthright to be abundant, if you don't see that, you will not appreciate the moment when those things happen. Let's say you get the job. Let's say you can't afford to get the item. You're gonna get them and it's gonna let you feel very empty. And the emptiness that I'm talking about is an emptiness that I have experienced. Because when I launched my business, I talked to you about this a couple episodes back. When I launched a business, I expected my emotions to explode. I expected to be all over the moon and to feel like this sense of I'm so proud of myself and I have done so well. I'm gonna pat myself on the shoulder and everything is going to be well from now. I'm going to take off instantly without even putting ads out there into the world, and the world is gonna magically know about Guided by the Universe, and everybody's going to buy my brand because it's so beautiful. I just love it, so everybody has to love it too. Needless to say, it didn't happen. It did not happen. The disappointment instantly set in, and so my unfulfillment took over. And that's not because the quality of my brand is shit, because it's not. That's because I felt unfulfilled before, so I'm going to feel the same afterwards. Had I felt fulfilled before, happy, joyous, proud of the work that I have put in, I would have felt the same and multiplied afterwards. Because that's basically what I did, but just like reverse, the other way around. Tarot card reversed, the negative meaning of it. So if you want to spare yourself of that crushing experience, make sure to actually be grateful, to actually do your gratitude practices in the morning and preferably in the evening as well, to remind yourself of all the things that you are proud of, that you have already done, that you have already achieved, so that you can attract more and more of that. I wish I would have known it before. I would have known it in my heart before, because everybody knows it. Everybody knows that you have to be grateful, and so you're going to manifest more. That you have to explode of thankfulness and positive energy so that you can magnetically attract the same energy back. You know it in your head, but you don't know it in your heart because you don't believe in it. And why don't you believe in it? Because you haven't experienced it yet. And that's why I say that an adventurous lifestyle, or a lifestyle that is rich in experience, is a lifestyle that is rich in wisdom. So when you go out there into the world, when you make your own experiences, when you grow and grow and grow over yourself, when you always reach for the next level, and not like the next level as if I'm never happy with what I have now, enough is never enough, that you always want to strive for more. I'm not talking about results, I'm talking about experiences. That's a different type of thing. You can never have enough experiences or enough wisdom. You can never have enough lessons, is what I'm trying to say, right? So if you keep striving with a growth mindset and like for inner wisdom, growth, peace, and harmony, then that's the greatest thing that you can do. And that is probably what is going to bring you closer and closer to your Dharma. If you remember, Dharma is your soul's purpose. It is why your soul decided to reincarnate into the person that you are today, to give you this identity into this time and space, in the ethnicity, country, gender, whatever that you have been assigned at birth. That was your soul choosing. And all of the challenges and lessons that come along the way were already chosen by your soul. They were already chosen, and your soul chose them because your soul wanted to grow. You cannot grow infinitely in one lifetime. That's just too short of a time. And having an infinite soul is going to give us infinite lives as well. Infinite human experiences. That's basically what it is. So let's say this is my very first reincarnation. This is my very first time as a soul on this planet. I only have the experience as a white woman that grew up in Romania and then went to live in Western Europe. But I'm never gonna have in the same lifetime the experience of being born a male, maybe having a different ethnicity, having a different upbringing in a different part of the world with different experiences, talking a different language. You know what I mean? So there are so many endless outcomes that your soul could have chosen, but for now, this is exactly where you need to be. This is exactly what you need to be doing. And this is exactly the lesson that you need to learn. And I feel like we can find a lot of peace in that, knowing that it is always the right time. We are never missing out on opportunities. We are never too quick or too slow. We are always right on the correct timeline of our lives. And comparison really, I feel like this brings another another meaning to comparison is the thief of joy, because you cannot compare a soul's mission to a different soul. The souls are never on the same journey. Like, we are collectively one, collectively trying to acquire all of those experiences, and each and one of us has their different agendas. Absolutely different. It's not about growing up in a Western country, getting the highest degree in academic degree, and then being like the highest earner, building the best family, white picket fence, all of that. It's not about that at all. It's never been about that. But society kind of makes us feel like it is that way, because society is very limited when it comes to, let's call it, esoteric or spiritual thinking. Because, all that we have is the present moment. All that we have is the life that we have now, if that's what you believe. And society believes that. And if that is all that society believes, it is going to build a value system around what is tangible, what you can touch, what you can see, what you can smell, what you can measure. And so you can see a human, you cannot see a soul. So what we are is a human. And you can measure results through academic titles or job positions. That's what you can do. But you cannot measure a dharma. You cannot measure a purpose. You cannot measure wisdom. You cannot measure knowledge that is learned outside of a book. And so that is why those things don't have no value in our society, but they have immense value in enriching our souls. And I love it how they say that you take nothing to the grave. You came naked into this world and you're going out naked again out of this world. You came in alone and you're going out alone. And I feel like that could be furthest from the truth, because if you truly live out your dharma, you come into this world with a mission and you fulfill it. And if you, or when you fulfill your dharma, when you actually live out your dharma, that is the biggest impact that you could have ever had on this lifetime and on everybody else that was blessed enough to cross your path. And, it's just, I cannot help but look into the future and see how bright it is now that my mindset is kind of adapting to think outside of the societal box that is teaching me to look success after success. But outside of this matrix box and inside of the vast eternity of my soul, because that has no confinement. That box has no lines. It has no edges. It has no corners. It is absolutely endless. And that is what I love. I love freedom in every aspect, in every way, in every form. If freedom is on the plate, I'm gonna eat that bitch. Because one time I have done this experiment to kind of find out what value is most important to me. And so I made a list. No, I had a list of I think it was 300 values. 300 values such as freedom, love, kindness, discipline, determination. 300 of those, right? I cannot even think of more right now. And you had to kind of underline the ones that kind of spoke to you intuitively. And then let's say out of 300, you had like 50 left. Go over that list of the 50 and see, okay, let's minimize that to 25. And then let's minimize that to 10. And let's minimize that to 5 and then to your top 3. And my top 3, I don't even remember the third, but I remember the first and the second. The first one was belief, and the second one was freedom. The belief in the universe, the belief in our soul, the belief that I have acquired thinking outside the box and asking questions about the things that were taught to me when I was a child, and the freedom to actually choose what to believe, the freedom to finally express the quality of life that I want to live, the freedom to the freedom to finally be able to follow my dharma. And if you start doing that, I guarantee that you're going to be living your best life, that you're going to find bliss in the present moment, and that there will be nothing else that will be more important to you than that. There is nothing more important to me than living out my dharma. And I didn't know about my dharma the first moment when I kind of started living mindfully. It was years until I actually knew what my dharma was. And I feel like that is still kind of crystallizing and showing me how I'm supposed to live my dharma. Because I feel like my dharma, my soul's purpose, is to inspire people to follow their dharma as well. It is to inspire people to look in the mirror and see the vast potential that I would see in you if I would look at you. That I see in you now. That I see because you are interested in self-growth, in becoming your best self, in evolving in this human experience. And I get saddened at times when I see, especially the people around me, that don't believe in themselves, that don't have the confidence to go for it, that are confined by their fears and their own set limitations, that maybe were so ingrained in their belief system that they cannot look past that. And so I feel like it is my task to help you, or to help people, get over those limitations and boundaries that they have set upon themselves, or that the society and the community that they have been brought up in has kind of set for them. And I'm not quite sure how to do that besides talking into this camera and hoping that it gives you some value. But I feel like this is only the start. And by doing this, by starting somewhere, anywhere, it is actually going to bear fruit because I believe in it. And that is enough. So if you believe in your idea, if you believe in your dharma, if you believe to have found the passion that you have been brought on this earth to follow, to fulfill, to enrich other people's lives with, then go for it. There is literally nothing more important to do in this lifetime for you. This is your mission. This is why you're here on earth. This is why you get this chance to live, hopefully, 100 years and to try day in, day out, to try until you succeed. Try to fulfill your dharma. What else can you do? What else do you have to do? What else is more important than that? Nothing. Literally nothing. Don't get too caught up in the day-to-day stressors, because you know that stress is the number one reason why we get disease, why we feel negative, why we attract even more of that into our lives. And a sick body cannot harbor a healthy mind. Listen to last week's episode to learn more about this. But if you feel physically well, if you are healthy, if you're nurtured, if you actually respect your self-care routine, then your soul is free and boundaryless when it comes to fulfilling its dharma. Imagine having a lot of creativity, confidence, talents, all that you need, the determination, the drive, and so on and so forth, but you got cancer. That's a lot of potential going to fucking waste. And maybe it's not the type of cancer that you get from inherently from relatives. Maybe it's the type of cancer that you got because you got too angry too often, because you were too stressed at work, because you were caught in an unhealthy relationship, because you have never given yourself the attention that you deserve. Imagine getting cancer because you did not love yourself and you did not realize that your dharma is more important than the day-to-day stressors. How are you going to fulfill your dharma if your body is preoccupied with fighting off this disease? That is exactly the reason why a healthy body is required in order to have a healthy mind and a healthy spirit. You cannot tell me that if you were to have cancer, that you would be able to still fulfill your dharma and follow your dreams and so on and so forth. First of all, physically you're not. And if you already have the physical limitations, the mind is going to follow with borders as well. So take a bit extra care and give your body a bit of extra love tonight, because you actually, we all need it. Not just you, we all need it. All right, so what I need you to take from this episode, if it is only one thing that you can take out of this conversation, is that your ideal future is now. Your ideal future is built upon the present moment. And if in the present moment you feel lack, you feel scarcity, you don't feel worthy of one day leading that type of life, that type of life will go away further and further with every passing year. So every year, you're going to be a bit more far away. Even though you are further in time, you're going to be more and more far away from your ideal life. So make the conscious decision to actually and mindfully be grateful for what you have what you have achieved up until now, to be grateful for the people, the relationships, the situations, the circumstances that you have in life right now, because it could always be worse. Remember that it could always be worse. Even if you think that it couldn't, it can. It actually can. So don't play the universe and don't provoke the universe to show you. Don't provoke the universe to show you that it could be worse, because we don't want that. We don't want that, right? And lastly, find your dharma and find creative ways to live your dharma. If you start wherever it is, no matter how small it is, if you start, there is no way that you are not going to succeed. If it is truly your dharma that your intuition has led you to, and not just your ego has led you to, then there is no way how you're not going to succeed. You are literally here only to fulfill that. And only you, uniquely you, are supposed to live out that dharma. It's not for somebody else. It's not up for grabs. It's just yours to have. And only you are the one that can fulfill that. And you are the only one that will fulfill that if you choose to do so. If you choose to live small, to dim your light, and to listen to the voices around you, then yeah, fuck that. You've lived for nothing. You've lived for, letting the opportunity pass you by. And I know that I said that an opportunity cannot be passed if it is for you. Well, if you don't live mindfully, and if you don't even try to live out your dharma, then I feel like that is the only time when you're actually going to miss out on something. You're going to miss out on your purpose. And that would be tragic. We don't want that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to go there, because I know one thing for sure, and it is that you're a mindful person and you actually want to discover what it is, to discover the mysteries of your life, to discover who you truly are. Who is the soul residing in this body? Who is it? I cannot see it. But if you look deep enough in the mirror, if you look into your eyes, and if you start asking the right questions and looking for the answers deep within, instead of outside of you, then I guarantee you're going to get the answers that you're looking for. It's the mirror, and it's looking inward to get the answers. All right, guys. If you love the pod at least half as much as I do, then please rate it 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcast. I would absolutely love for you to check out the website. It's called guidedbytheuniverse.com. Check out the socials. Instagram and TikTok are both at guidedbytheuniverse_. And also check out the YouTube channel. It's linked down below in the description box. Just remember, everything is gonna turn out fine as long as you're guided by the universe. Bye!